Hola, bienvenidos, bienvenidas, bienvenides a GCSE Spanish Practice. My name is Marina, and in this repaso rápido, we're going to take a look at the conjugation in the I form to top 5 main verbs in Unit 1, which is family, friends, and relationships. Vamos! So, you know the vocabulary comes from this book. The first thing we're going to do is translate the 5 top verbs from this unit into Spanish, so really, really easy. Then conjugate the verbs in different tenses in the I form, because that's the main one you need to use and understand in your writing, in your speaking, in your listening, okay, and in your reading. And then we're going to use the verbs in the I form to complete some sentences, so some examples, and then I'll show you the answers because you have to translate into English. Vamos! Okay, so the first bit. Write or say the English for these infinitives. Llevarse bien, which is a reflexive verb. Casarse, the same. Discutir, cuidar, conocer. You can pause the video, think about it. But in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I will show you the answers. A ver, llevarse bien, to get on well with, okay? So, me llevo bien con mi hermana, I get on well with my sister. Casarse, to get married, okay? Discutir, to argue, to have an argument. Cuidar, to look after somebody or to look after something. Y conocer, to meet, as in for the first time, okay? It can be to meet for the first time or to actually know somebody. But we cannot use it as in, I am going to meet my friends today at the park. That's a different verb, okay? Bueno, if this part is clear and there are no questions, we can move on. If you have any questions, just pop in the comments, okay? And I'll take a look. Número 2. Conjugate the infinitives in the I version for each time frame. So the basic thing that we need to do to be able to access top marks when we are writing or speaking. But also there are listening exercises that ask you to tell whether something happened in the past, in the present, or in the future. These are the main bits, okay? And if you were to choose something to master because you find verbs difficult, that is the present tense, the past, the future. The I would like, me gustaría is super easy, but has been included here, which is also future frame. And then also a past tense frame tense, which is the imperfect, okay? To describe things that were going on in the past, or to describe something in the past, or to say something you would do in a regular basis. So if you would like to take your time, you can pause the video. Remember, for the present tense, these two we have to be careful because they are reflexive. So you need to do something to this. Goes at the front, put it in the I form, and then conjugate this bit. Okay, the llevar bit. Same with the casar bit. So we drop the ending and we add something. The rest of them are regular. This one is irregular. Something happens to this one. After the O, we are going to need these. Okay, a Z and a C. Everything else is regular. Okay, so pause the video if you want. I've got my tea here and I will be waiting for you. Okay, solo que está muy caliente, so I will have to let it cool down for a little bit. Okay, come back when you're ready. Ahora está mejor. Now it's better. A ver, entonces, let's take a look at the present tense of these verbs. Now, I get on well with. Me llevo bien. Con. With. Con. And then you say who? Me caso. Well, I don't think you will be using me caso, I get married. Pero, bueno, it's just for the sake of practicing your grammar. Me caso con. Okay? Me caso con. In English is to. In Spanish, again, con. With. Discuto. Con. I argue with. Cuido. Cuido a. Cuido a. And the person. So this one is a. Cuido a mi hermano pequeño. I look after my little brother. A. Y conozco a. I know. And then the person, but you need an a. So this is called the personal a. You need to use it when the action is received by somebody. So, cuido a mi hermano. Conozco a tu hermano. I know your brother. ¿Vale? Okay, past tense. Again, same con, a for everything else. Past tense. Me llevé bien, me casé. So we drop the ending, we add an E with an accent. And because it's reflexive, we have the se goes at the front and it becomes me. Me llevé bien, me casé. I are verbs, you drop the ending and you add an E with an accent. So discutí. Cuidar is an I verb, so again, drop the ending E with an accent. Cuidé. Y conocer, conocí. Conocí in the past tense doesn't need this, okay? I forgot to say this is just in the present tense of some verbs. Lo siento, sorry. There are other verbs like conducir, to drive, that follow the same rule. Conduzco, okay? 3, future. So future, we have 2 options. I didn't say which future. It can be the will plus verb future, or the I am going to, okay? So we have, sorry, this is a bit difficult to see. So in the near future tense, we have 2 options. Me voy a llevar bien, I am going to get well with. Or we can also say voy a llevarme bien. So the me can go at the front or at the back. But I always advice to keep it at the front so that it follows the same pattern. In the future tense with will, you say me llevaré bien. You know, in the future tense, we also add an E with an accent, but we keep the infinitive as is. So llevar plus E with an accent. Me voy a casar o voy a casarme, following the same logic, or me casaré, the future tense with will. Voy a discutir o discutiré. Voy a cuidar o cuidaré. Voy a conocer o conoceré. Okay, when I'm thinking about, in the future, I'm going to meet my future partner in this place. Okay, whatever. And then the imperfect, to describe ongoing actions in the past tense, or to describe a person or a place, or to say something that you would do regularly. Okay, imperfect. Me llevaba bien. Me casaba. Don't think you use this. Discutía, cuidaba, conocía. The verbs that finish in er or ia, you drop the ending and you add ia. Okay? And the verbs that finish in ar, drop the ending and add aba. Okay? But these 2 are reflexive, and this is why they have the me at the front. Okay? Y finalmente es super easy. En el futuro me gustaría llevarme bien con mi hermano. En el futuro me gustaría casarme. Cuando sea mayor, me gustaría discutir. Cuando sea mayor, me gustaría cuidar. Si tuviera la oportunidad, me gustaría conocer. Okay, so all the time frame sentences, plus me gustaría, the time frame in the future, plus me gustaría, plus infinitive. Okay, bueno. Now, a bit more difficult. Fill in the gaps with the appropriate tense for the verbs in brackets. So take a look at the time phrases or the information. Cuando sea mayor, los fines de semana, en la fiesta de mi pueblo, okay, and the extra context or information in the phrases. And fill in the verbs in the I form. In these gaps, you have to fill in the gaps with the verbs in the I form in the correct tense of llevarse bien, casarse, discutir, cuidar y conocer. And when you have done that, you can translate into English and write down your answers, okay? Because it's good practice for your reading paper. And also, I'll be here waiting for you, sipping my tea, and then I'll show you the answers for both number 3 and number 4. ¿De acuerdo? ¡Vamos! Ok, bueno, era difícil, era fácil. Vamos a ver. Ejercicio 3A. Normalmente me llevo bien, because normally implies regular action. So it's normally in the present tense, but sometimes it can change. Normalmente me llevo bien con mis hermanos porque son muy comprensivos. Normally I get on well with my siblings because they are very understanding. Okay? So you've got the sentence translated here into English. Hopefully that's okay. B. Cuando sea mayor, me gustaría casarme en la iglesia. And here you have the translation. So there you go. Cuando sea mayor is a very good phrase to use in your writing or your speaking, okay? Instead of en el futuro, en el futuro. Sí, ayer discutí con mi mejor amigo y estoy triste. ¿Ok? Sí, los fines de semana cuido a mi hermano pequeño porque me gusta pasar tiempo con él. So here we go. Marina, could the sentence be in the imperfect? Yes, it could, if this part was also in the imperfect. For example, cuando era pequeño, when I was little, or younger, cuando era más pequeño, los fines de semana cuidaba a mi hermano pequeño porque me gustaba pasar tiempo con él. Okay, so los fines de semana here is in the present tense only because this part here is in the present tense. So it's telling us that it needs to match. Okay, and en la fiesta de mi pueblo conocí a mi novio. Okay. Unless you are psychic and then you can tell the future, that's what makes sense. Okay, that you are telling me that you met your boyfriend there, rather than I am going to meet my boyfriend at the party. Okay, my village or my town works. Okay, well, hopefully this is all clear. But if you have any questions, come back or go to the comments and let me see what the question is, and I'll try and answer as fast as I can. For more videos to practice all units for your AQA GCSE exam, come back. There are new videos every other day, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Adiós y gracias.